Welcome to the Story Capsule Time. Today we begin a new series called Toxic But I Stayed. This is episode 1, The Love That Almost Cost Me Myself. Come closer, this is where her story begins. Let's begin. They met in school. He was the quiet one. She was the quiet one too. They noticed each other but never said a word. Years passed, 2, maybe 3, but in her heart she always believed we'll meet again someday. And then one day, just like that, they did. This time he didn't hesitate. I liked you, he said. Always did. And that was all it took. For her, the world shifted. He became everything, her friend, her love, her family, her entire world. And while she poured herself into that love, she also stayed focused, chasing goals, ticking boxes, making her parents proud. She completed her college. Her parents, aging, worried, began watching time closely. She was their youngest, born much later than expected. Their dream? To see her settled with a life of her own. They worried, they begged. It's time to think about marriage, they said. She feared it deeply. She didn't want to hurt them. But how could she leave the person she loved just because he wasn't settled yet? That didn't feel fair. So she pleaded. Just 2 more years, she told them. I'll start working. I'll manage everything. Just give me time. And they agreed. She was relieved. Finally, a window, a chance. But him? Still no seriousness, no urgency, no pressure. He believed, as always, she would take care of it all. He didn't understand the weight she was carrying. He didn't even try. He laughed off her concerns, mocked her timelines, dismissed her as too serious. And slowly she began to break, not all at once, but in quiet ways. She coached him, pushed him, tried to carry his future on her back. All she wanted was for him to show up the way she always showed up for him. But he didn't. She cried quietly alone at night, biting her pillow, whispering lies like, he'll change, he just needs time, he loves me. But what he really loved was that she stayed no matter what. He didn't want to grow because she made it easy to stay a boy. And she finally said, enough. He blamed her, called her heartless, accused her of moving on too fast, told everyone she chose money over love. He painted her as the villain, and she held every piece of their broken puzzle alone. But the truth? She fought for him, she lied for him, she stood against her parents, her family for him. She thought loyalty was love, and leaving him didn't feel like freedom, it felt like dying. Because when someone becomes your entire world, walking away can feel like the end of yours. She broke quietly, faded slowly. There were nights when even breathing felt heavy, until one day someone noticed. A colleague, a friend she never spoke too much outside work. Kind eyes, calm presence, nothing dramatic, just there. She never told him anything, not once, until he saw her eyes welling up quietly at her desk. He waited, then asked gently, are you okay? She paused, looked away, and whispered, I'll tell you everything. Even after everything, she still didn't want to disrespect the boy who hurt her. And then she spoke, not in anger, not in blame, but in exhaustion. She poured out her story, how she waited, how she hoped, how she held on when every sign told her to let go. She said maybe he should have thought about things from my side just once, but he never did. And that colleague, the man she never imagined would be her lifeline. He didn't interrupt, didn't offer advice, didn't question her pain. He just sat there, listening. And something inside her slowly began to heal. Because sometimes all we need is for someone to hold space for our truth without trying to reshape it. They became friends, then something more. And no, it wasn't sudden. It only looked that way from the outside because no one saw the months, the years she spent feeling alone while still in love. People think heartbreak begins when the relationship ends, but hers began long before that. In the silences, the dismissals, the quiet ache of being unseen. She didn't move on quickly, she just stopped waiting for someone who was never coming back emotionally. The man who entered her life didn't fill a void. He sat beside it, gently, patiently, respectfully. He didn't promise forever. He didn't offer distractions. He offered presence, and that presence slowly became peace. They built something quiet, steady, safe, and over time that safety grew into trust. And that trust grew into a kind of love she had never known before, love without fear. He never tried to fix her. He never asked her to shrink. He never ever expected anything. He just saw her. Today she's married, not to the boy who made her beg for love, but to the man who made her stop crying. And yet she knows this world will only remember one line: the girl left the boy. That's how people tell it. But the story, the real story, the nights she cried, the years she waited, the dreams she buried, and the silence she swallowed, that story will live quietly in her heart where no one sees, but where she'll never forget. Because now she knows real love never demands your destruction, it holds your hand in the dark and walks you home. She once believed love meant waiting, enduring, fixing, that if she gave enough, stayed long enough, he would change. But he didn't. The hardest part wasn't leaving him, it was letting go of the version of herself that thought love had to hurt. For so long, she thought she was asking for too much. But in the silence of her breaking heart, she finally saw the truth. I wasn't asking for too much, I was just asking the wrong person. That was the love that almost cost her herself. Not just the end of a story, but the beginning of healing. The end.